Hey viewers, so today we have a scooter that my niece used to drive and my sister wants to get it all souped up and ready to go for her to use. We're going to respray it and we're going to give it a really good servicing, get rid of any rust and make sure all the parts work. Let me take you through it. So Suzuki UZ50, here it is. Get under the seat is relatively easy. We simply turn the key and lift that lid. We then need to take this unit off. The motor sitting underneath there. Start off with that cover there. Next we'll do the battery compartment cover. Now this bike's been lying around for about 4 or 5 years, perhaps even more. So this battery's totally dead. So I want to get it out and then have a look to see if we can get a replacement. I'm going to make sure once I take that off, put the screw temporarily back into here so that I don't lose it. I can also see a lot of water in here because it's just been allowed to lie out in the open, so what I might do is put the screws back on to here rather than leave them on the battery. So the battery on this was dead and we bought another one here, newer model, couldn't get the one that was in here. And we've also gone and bought some oil, and I'll take you through a little bit of a service right now. So just having a look around here, we can see we need to take this off over here. Nobody's made it very tight, so we're going to need 700 ml of oil. I've bought a litre, and some plug come underneath here, just in front of. Yeah, you can see the plug, which we'll pull out to drain it in a second. So, taking a look at what we're going to need to do an oil change on the Let's for UZ50. I'm going to need some oil. That's a SAE 10W40 measuring cup. We're going to use 700 mils. This is a litre that I bought. We're going to need a Phillips screwdriver to get the filter off. And the one thing that I found works very well, a little bottle like this, which I'm going to cut the bottom off and we're going to use that as a funnel. The shape allows us to get it right into the thing. We can use that as a funnel to get the oil in when we put the oil in. Then to get the sump plug off, we're going to need a 14mm socket or spanner, whatever you prefer to use. We'll start by draining the oil. Alright, let's take this cap off first. Oil actually doesn't look too bad. I'm going to just put it in the hole so that it doesn't let dirt in, and then we'll go under the bottom and get the sump plug taken off. In order to catch the oil, what I'm doing is I'm taking a 3-litre milk bottle, and I've marked the 1-litre mark and the 2-litre mark, and I'm going to cut it at the 2-litre mark because there should only be less than a litre in this engine. Once it's cut, you'll also realize that that makes a pretty good funnel. There's your handle, you can pour into there. That's probably better for petrol and stuff like that. That's got the bigger hole. One of the advantages of designing your own containers and funnels is I've put this underneath there, and the 2-litre mark was perfect for fitting underneath there, but then I realized that it may not extend far enough back for it to catch all the oil, so all I've done is cut a slit in there and pull that back, so now if the oil doesn't make it straight down into there, it hits here, it's still going to run down into my container. The good thing about this too is I just throw it away when I've finished. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get underneath the motor and I'm going to undo that nut. That will then allow oil to pour all over my hands. Hopefully we'll catch it in that container. Alright, let's try loosen this. Let's see how tight it is. Okay, there it is loose. Let's get it out. Now you've got the oil running out. This plug is off, which allows air to get in here. Make sure that it drains properly. And there it's coming to an end. You can see that our little slit that we cut is actually working pretty well. Means that I'm not at risk of making a mess all over my driveway. Now that it's finished draining, we can check our expected quantities, because if we look in here, that black line that you're seeing over there was 1 litre, so it certainly is holding less than 1 litre. Yep, I would say that that oil is way past its due date for recycling. Alright, now that the oil's drained, we can give it a bit of a wipe and then put our plug back in. Once that's in, we'll give it a tighten. And then we can fill it well up. So what I've done, in order to make hopefully this a little bit easier, is I've used a vanish bottle, cut the bottom off, and hopefully that's going to make that very easy for us to put some oil into there. You can turn it, tilt it. I also have a measuring cup and my oil. Let's do this. First thing we need to do, remove this. I'll give it a bit of a wipe down. Very carefully wipe around here. So we don't want to get any muck in the engine. Now I'll measure out my oil. Alright, so we've definitely tightened up my bolt at the bottom. We're going to do 400ml into a container. There's my 400ml. And see if this works. It's a little bit big, so I'm going to have to pour slowly. There's a 400. Top this up. It's a 300. My little funnel's working really well. That's it. We can close this and test. So if we do that, and check, it's nearly full. That's our oil change done. The nice thing about the container I've made is we can now use it to pour into a container for throwing away. We can shape that into a nice little funnel and then just pour. We can put this somewhere safe for the next time we need it. Next step, we'll have a look at the air filter and see what that looks like. To get into the air filter, that's where we're going to need our Phillips screwdriver. Those 5 screws undone. This we can just pull off. And there we have our filter. say we probably need to be getting a new air filter there. There's two things that we need: the filter and some filter oil. Make sure our filter compartment is nice and clean. Let's finish it on like that. The first thing we need to do is put this back in. And then we'll put it fits inside there. Give this a light covering of oil, sparing covering of oil. Give it one little bit of a shake. So it's got a light oiling, it's not excessive. I reckon the whole pad is now wet. You can go ahead, put it in, close it up. Just swash it down a little bit, just to get it into place. Once it's all in place, put the cover on. And tweak them up to make sure they're not going to come loose. Don't try and over tighten them. That's all of them done. So if you're not going to take off the fairing, then that little cap that we took off earlier is how we get to your spark plug. The spark plug is sitting down here, and all we need to do is get a hold of this and just pull it off. And then we're going to get a spanner in there and get the spark plug off. Because of the depth that we need to go to, it's advisable to get a spark plug socket. This is labeled 16mm. Make sure it's on correctly, and then off that comes relatively easy. Once we have the new spark plug, or if you wish, and its spark plug's not very old, you can give it a clean and replace it. Don't want to over tighten it. And my spanner thing's got left behind on the plug. Make sure that's all dry. We have our petrol tank here. I'm guessing the petrol is going to be a little bit stale because the bike's been sitting around for about 5 years. I've been having a look. The easiest way to drain it probably be the hose coming out here is a bit short, and if I take that off anyway, I'm just going to make a big mess. But there looks like there's a filter in here and a longer hose coming to here. If I can get the hose off here, we can pull that aside and drain the petrol from the tank. So replacing the battery is really easy. We're going to throw it into here. Make sure that we get the positive and the negative the right way around, and it looks like the positive should be there, the negative's up that end over there, so it looks like we're probably in the right position at the moment. I do have a new set of screws for it, although those look like they're all pretty much okay, so maybe I'll just use the ones that are on there at the moment. I'm not going to tighten those up yet. I need to sit this down and bend these to where they need to be. Before we put this on, we're just going to double check. Negative should go to ground. The red one's usually positive. Positive says on the battery here. So we can plug this in. Protective cover on there. And drop that into place. Like that. And that all squashes down here. Once I've given the engine a start and made sure everything's working, we'll put the cover over the battery. I found the quickest way to replace the back indicator globes and the taillight globe is to undo these 4 nuts. Make sure the screws at the front are undone so there's nothing holding this. We can then shuffle this cable a little bit, get this to lift up and push back, and you get just enough space in here to be able to get your hand in there. You get the globes in and out. Once that's done, get that to seat back down again. We can check our indicators work. And then we can put all the nuts and bolts back on. And now the screws at the front, and then we're all finished. We've got the 2 on this side and the 2 on the other side. And then we put the oil cover. Check our cables are flat. That's it, finally we have it all back together, nice and clean and shiny. I do have one job left tonight. We need to put it out on the street or out on the driveway and align the headlight so that it's not pointing up towards the sky. Now to see if it'll start. Hey, if you've enjoyed watching these videos, how about giving us a thumbs up on the video? And if you want to see more videos like this, how about subscribing to my channel? Would be much appreciated. Hope you have a good day. Thanks, bye.